Today, we're going to be taking a look at the late great heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali's body graph. Originally named Cassius Clay Jr., he changed his name after winning his first heavyweight championship in 1964. Muhammad Ali represents what happens when a powerful design, individuality, and voice are expressed without compromise. He was light on his feet, fast and agile, skills that could be attributed to him being a manifesting generator. His energy would have moved quickly to his throat center, the center of manifestation and action. The transition from thought to action is faster in manifesting generators than any of the other energy types. As you can see here, his heart center is connected to his throat center via channel 21 to 45, which is the channel of money. This is a manifestor channel. Anyone with this channel will naturally take the lead, as this channel is all about providing the resources that the tribe needs to survive. This channel would have been the driving force behind Muhammad Ali's desire to succeed and not only provide stability and wealth for himself, but also for those he loved. Muhammad Ali's voice was as powerful as his punches, a natural wordsmith who knew how to make an impact with simple, direct statements, never afraid to express his truth. Champions aren't made in the gym. Champions are made from something they have deep inside, a desire, a dream, a vision. Muhammad Ali knew that the gym was just a training ground to sharpen the power that he naturally held within. His will and his inner strength was beyond measure, and he confidently expressed this, frequently stating, "I am the greatest." When he said this, he was speaking from his defined heart center. Anyone with a defined ego center innately knows their worth. It's not something they need to prove. It's just an understanding they hold, and they do not look to others to reinforce their worthiness. They walk through life with an inner certainty that does not require outside approval. To some, it may come across as egotistical, but anyone with a defined heart center knows that it's nothing to do with ego and everything to do with understanding who we actually are as humans. Muhammad Ali was a walking example of unlimited human potential. He never limited himself and was always willing to push himself beyond what others deemed possible. He had a lot of defined centers. 8 out of 9 of his centers were defined with a triple split definition. Triple split definitions like to be around several different people throughout the day, as it gives them a feeling of wholeness due to needing others to complete their hanging gates. This naturally attracts others that have the defined gates they need to bridge their channels. This was apparent throughout Muhammad Ali's life, attracting the trainers and people that would inspire him to build his success. With an open G center, identity center, he would mirror and amplify their identity back to them, which would mean that they would often see themselves in him, increasing their desire to support him. The support he received from others was also due to his life profile, which was a 1-4. Life profiles outline the main themes in your life and the way in which you relate to others, providing the framework that will guide you toward your purpose. That community is integral for line fours, as that is how they'll come across the opportunities that will lead to their success. They then give back to those that assisted them along the way once they fulfill their purpose. Muhammad Ali was quoted as saying, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your time here on earth," meaning he was very aware of his desire to give back to others and the importance of community and supporting one another. One with a line 1 has a thirst for knowledge, as knowledge provides a feeling of security for line 1s. This was very apparent in the psychological warfare he would use against his opponents, often taunting them with the knowledge he had acquired. He knew his mind was his greatest strength, and he would use this to break the spirits of his opponents before they even entered the ring. But Ali didn't only use his thirst for knowledge as a defense against his opponents. He used it to educate himself about the societal issues that many, including himself, faced during his time. Alongside his boxing career, he dedicated himself to humanitarian work, which he also continued once he retired. He saw his athletic achievements as a platform to positively influence others, believing that peace and unity begins with individual transformation. Using his life as an example, "I'm an ordinary man who worked hard to develop the talent I was given. I believed in myself and I believe in the goodness of others. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they were given rather than explore their power to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. These quotes show that Muhammad Ali truly believed in the ability to change anything when you have self belief and believe in your own inner power. Muhammad Ali was a champion in and out of the ring with channel 27 to 50, the channel of preservation. It creates a deep need to care for, preserve, and protect others through altruistic concern, often leading to prioritizing others over your own needs. With gate 50, the gate of values located in the splenic center, giving him an instinctual awareness to recognize anything corrupt or unjust. This channel would have been what led to Muhammad Ali refusing to fight in the Vietnam War. He was very aware that it was unnecessary and unjust, and he likened it to the mistreatment of many within his community, a role that he did not want to play a part in, and he recognized that choosing to go to war would make him complicit in the mistreatment of his own people. The sentence refusing to go to war was 5 years in prison, a £10,000 fine, and he was stripped of his heavyweight boxing title. He didn't serve time due to his appeal against his convictions, which lasted for 4 years, leaving him unable to compete during that time. Ali was being used as an example in the anti war movement that was occurring. Instead, his strong stance against what many knew to be wrong and his willingness to face the consequences of his beliefs only made him gain further support. The sentence was eventually overturned, and Ali's willingness to stand by what he knew to be true made a global impact that helped change the opinions of many about war, becoming a symbol for the anti-war and racial justice movement. Ali also had a lot of dominant and alpha gates in his chart. Gate 34, the gate of power. Gate 45, the gate of dominance. Gate 31, the gate of the influencer, and also part of the channel of the alpha. And gate 21, the gate of control. Gate 34, located in the sacral center. This gate possesses a lot of raw power and primal energy. This gate is meant to be used for self-empowerment, channeling the energy of the sacral center into creating your inner vision in order to become a beacon of inspiration for others. Gate 31, also known as the Gate of the Natural Leader, is located in the throat center and is about having the power to influence others with your words. Gate 45, this gate is about managing the tribe's resources. And Gate 21, anyone with this gate needs to feel in control of their own destiny and resources. Muhammad Ali's design was all about raw power and charisma, and he had the wisdom and intelligence to not only use it for himself, but also to benefit others. Muhammad Ali was self aware, and he never let anyone or anything outside of himself define him. He poured all of his innate power and energy into changing his circumstances, becoming an American Olympic gold medalist and 3-time heavyweight champion, the greatest heavyweight champion of all time, in his own words, and a sentiment that the majority would agree with. His legacy was to show us what we can achieve when we believe in our own inner strength and tap into our true power, without concern for who we offend in the process. He expressed his truth unapologetically, and that's what made him the greatest of all time, because he didn't filter or try to suppress any parts of himself. Instead, he took responsibility for who he was and didn't allow others to define him. It's the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. And once belief becomes deep conviction, then things begin to happen. He used his words carefully and with clarity, always aware of the impact they would have on himself and others. Muhammad Ali was very intentional about who he was and who he was becoming. Nothing would stop him from self-actualization, becoming the greatest version of himself. He has given us one of the greatest examples of what living in your truth and being authentic can allow you to achieve. He understood that to change the world, you had to change yourself first. I hope that sharing Muhammad Ali's chart has inspired others to step into their own personal power. as that's the only thing that will collapse the systems that try to make us feel powerless. Owning your truth and understanding who you are is the key to freedom for not only yourself, but all. That's why I'm so inspired to share my take on human design. Follow to see when I release the other charts.